My grandfather died over 10 years ago, and this is part of the eulogy I wrote for him at that time. I'll read that to you. Most of my Christian values and habits I have now, you imbibe them in me, even without you knowing. Like every time you read Psalm 91, I will get to the part that says, "Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet." You always physically stomp your feet on the ground, and I find myself doing that till now. I remember my wife asking me, "Why do I do this?" I said, "A great man taught me that." Then my dad, when we were growing up, when he would fleet our rooms, for non-Nigerians, fleet means when you spray bug spray in a room to kill mosquitoes. Don't ask me, I don't know where that term came from. Anyway, whenever he finishes each room, he will switch off the lights and then shut the window and then walk out. When I had my own home, I would do the same. I would shut the window and switch off the lights. My wife asks me again, "Why do you always switch off the lights?" I was like, "I don't know, that's the way it's always been done. Maybe it just helps the mosquitoes that they can't see, and then the bug spray kills them faster. I'm not sure, but I've always just done it that way while I was growing up." What's the essence of these stories, you might ask? If you are not leading by example, you are missing a trick, because people watch what you do more than what you say. One of the great leaders of our time, Steve Jobs, was a particular advocate of this leading by example. I remember watching an interview where Steve Jobs was asked, how does he lead 10,000 employees? How does he pass across his message and vision to lead over 10,000 employees? His response was simple. It was like leading by example ultimately, because employees, they usually watch senior leadership, how they tackle problems, than actually what they're saying. That you can say all the right things as you may. Majorly, people are watching what you're doing, particularly in difficult times. I have watched him lead by example and instill values across such a large organization. And this ensured that Apple continued to deliver products that were cutting edge and innovative during his time. That approach ensured that Jobs was noted for excellence across the organization, and that helped instill values across the whole organization as well. Even before Jobs, I watched my grandfather, a leader in the insurance sector in Nigeria, in the late 80s and early 90s. Like Job, he was always out there showing how things should be done, setting an example. Even in the family, he was always in the front, showing us how things should be done and how we should behave properly. And that's how I understood leadership. So when I started my wedding photography business many years ago, I would come to an event well dressed, sometimes in suit, sometimes in a shirt and waistcoat. My team at first used to wonder why I used to dress that way, but I took pride in the profession, and I felt that dressing appropriately was required and was absolutely needed. And in no time, even without me telling them, my team started copying my dressing. So I asked one of them, why the change? Why we started dressing this way? And he said something quite profound. He said the way he saw people address me with respect at weddings is something that he had never seen before, and he felt that it must have been the way I dress and the way I carry myself. I just laughed. I said, now you know the reason why they say dress the way you want to be addressed. Let me share with you some ways we as leaders can lead by example and have a positive outcome. Number one, if you say you're going to do something, get it done. Make sure it gets done. That builds a level of trust with those you're leading. Secondly, never stop learning. Do what it takes to be a great leader. Every leader understands that you need to continually learn so that you can improve your leadership skills. Thirdly, if you want others to follow a set of policies, you are better do the same and don't start pulling rank. The higher the rank, the higher the responsibilities. I tell my kids, you can't eat in the room, but sometimes I want to go upstairs and chill and eat in the room. But the rules apply to me as well. So if I set the rules, everyone must follow the rules. Number four, use the right words. What you say as a leader matters. It matters very, very much. And lastly, listen. Listening is a very good skill. It shows you have empathy, and that's a great skill in a leader. Actually, I do have a bonus one. Watch what you say and do. That's leadership 101. You are basically a celebrity, and those you're leading are the paparazzi. They watch your every move. So watch what you say and do. Let me round up by telling you this story. One of the greatest compliments I've ever received from a diary report was that I'm ready to show rather than tell. I remember this particular lady. She said that during the session we had, that she was surprised that I was willing to take the meeting notes during a requirement gathering session. I said to her, I never delegate any role, any task that I am not prepared to do myself. Because she said that, she didn't believe that managers were required to take notes. I just laughed. I was like, I don't know which managers you've been reporting to previously, but I will not delegate something that I'm not prepared to do myself. Today, she still raves on about me, which is quite nice actually. I know there are many leaders that have a reputation of being bossy, abusive, and use humiliation and conflict as their leadership style. But as I've shown today, the likes of Steve Jobs and even Bill Gates have built great companies, and they use this leadership by example, and they have great legacies which they have left behind. And not forgetting my grandfather, who many years after his death is still being talked positively in the insurance sector in Nigeria. I think it's clear to show that leadership by example is the way to go and is the way to follow. As usual, thanks for taking the time to watch. I share life improvements and fitness ideas. Be sure to subscribe and watch this video. Until next time, I wish you peace.